Hey, I'm Joe Connolly with another fascinating small business story. I'm with Carly Stein, who started her business in bee products when she was on a semester in Europe and became ill and found a solution through the products that she now sells after she left a brief career of a couple of years at Goldman Sachs to go into this business. So let's start to find out Carly's story. How did getting sick lead you to start your business?
Yeah, it was an interesting path to finding my personal solution. So I have an allergic reaction to most antibiotics. So for me, something like strep throat or tonsillitis, it can develop into something serious pretty quickly. And when I was in college, I did a semester abroad in Europe and was having a great time, but of course I got sick. I developed tonsillitis and I was gonna have to come home and have surgery. So I was really looking for anything to keep me out there. Like anything on the natural side. I had spent a lifetime searching for the natural cures to this or that and ending up spending a lot of time and money on things that don't work.
Right.
But I was desperate, so I went into a pharmacy when I was in Italy, and the pharmacist took one look at my swollen chipmunk cheeks and gave me this weird stuff called Propolis. I had no idea at the time that the bees made anything beyond honey, but I figured, you know what, I'll try it. And it worked for me. It was the first time that I was able to make a recovery that quickly, and it functioned in my body the same way antibiotics do for normal people. So I was just kind of blown away by this natural solution, and as somebody who's allergic to a lot of things, I had no adverse reactions to this. It just really made me feel better and cured whatever I was dealing with.
So what did you do then? Call a hospital and say, can this be true, or what?
I started doing a lot of research. Well, first of all, as I was traveling around Europe, I noticed that these different bee products beyond honey were very commonplace. Like you can walk into a pharmacy in Copenhagen and there's an awareness of bee propolis. People know that's what you use when you get cold, flu, sore throat. And people know that you use royal jelly for brain boosting and all of these different things. So I was just learning about this stuff, and I didn't think about it as a business opportunity at all. I was just completely fascinated as a consumer. And then I came home to finish up university. And of course, midterms rolled around and I got strep throat, being stressed and run down and whatnot. And I just couldn't find this stuff anywhere. I went to every health food store. Nobody had any idea what I was talking about. I had a lot of people just handing me jars of honey, which is great, but not what I was looking for. And so I got online and I was just like, I have to find a beekeeper. So I found a local beekeeper and I started purchasing this stuff directly from him. And I had the added benefit of being a student. So I was able to pull on our university database and start doing some really intense research on these different things. And I would talk to my chemistry professor and, you know, just using the resources that I had around me. And then when I went out to buy this stuff from this beekeeper, I saw beehives for the first time. And I was just instantly blown away. I was just like, I don't know what that is, but it looks really cool and I want to get in there. So I asked him if I could work for him for free. And next thing you know, I was a beekeeper's apprentice. Which is a strange hobby for a college student.
And your friends in college thought she's a little weird.
They thought it was a little weird. I had like my cheerleading uniform and my beekeeper suit in the same bag. Like, it was definitely a quirky hobby, but I completely fell in love with the bees and I was learning more and more and I started building these different products. And again, at this point, it was really just like out of personal curiosity, and I was feeling better than ever, and I had dealt with a lot of different health things that I was struggling with. And next thing you know, I started giving it to friends, and they gave it to friends of friends, and then all of a sudden, people on campus were Facebook messaging me asking to buy some weird products out of some chick's dorm room. So at that point, I figured, you know what, there is demand for this, and this could help other people in the same way that it's helped me.
So why did you go into Wall Street instead of going into this immediately?
Because I was graduating and I had this fantastic on-paper job offer, and it makes more sense when you tell people I'm going to work at Goldman Sachs than I'm starting a bee product company. So I followed the standard track and sort of did what was socially rewarded and expected of me, and I had a fantastic experience and learned a lot, but my passion was always in this. And while I was working in finance, I would come home in the evenings and just dig into my little hobby side hustle. And it was really just a way for me to be creative and to work with something that I love and build new solutions and just continue doing that research and exploring. And I started doing it more and more as a side hustle. And it eventually grew. It got to a point where we were in 600 stores. And I was still doing my day job as an analyst at Goldman, working like the crazy hours. So when it got to that point, I was like, okay, this company is now a thing. It needs some full-time intervention. And I think it's time to make that leap. And I think the company's ready for that leap.
How did you get into 600 stores before you even left your day job? How did that happen?
It was crazy. I feel like I didn't sleep for a few years. What I would do is, it started off just going into stores direct. I knew that to be taken on by a distributor, you had to have 20 to 50 accounts direct. So I would literally go into these smaller stores with a backpack full of product. I would find the buyer or owner, and I would pitch them.
In Manhattan or suburbs?
All over, anywhere I was.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere you were.
Yeah, anywhere I was, I would go do that.
What kind of percent did you get to take them at that stage?
I had a pretty good response. I mean, I was targeting the independent, smaller health food stores. I wasn't walking into Whole Foods.
Did you do it on consignment, or did you sell them wholesale at that point?
I mostly did wholesale.
Yeah.
I rarely did consignment. Occasionally, if it was something that was going to be important for brand presence, I would.
Right.
But I tried to avoid that. And so we got into enough stores that I was able to approach a distribution company. And from that point, it sort of just started gaining momentum because the products work, and we really put a lot of time and effort into building products that do what they say they're going to do and that are truly effective.
At that point, when you were taking them out of your backpack, how many different products did you have?
I started with just this guy. So this is our Propolis Spray.
Was that your original packaging?
This is the original. Well, not the original packaging.
But I mean, close to
it's
original?
It's gotten a little bit prettier.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Because it's beautiful.
Thank you. But yeah, close to the original. So this is our immune booster for cold, flu, sore throat. It's a natural alternative to a lot of the cold and flu medicine you see out there, and it's a great thing to take preventatively. And everyone's sick and run down, especially during cold and flu season, and more people are looking for natural alternatives. So as I was going in and pitching this product, people had a really positive response. And I would always leave a sample, especially to the skeptics. And because the product works very well, Propolis is a powerful substance. It's actually got over 300 beneficial compounds. It's antiviral, antifungal, antimicrobial, has all of these wonderful health effects. So whoever I would leave it with, they ended up calling me a week later and saying, hey, I woke up with a scratchy throat, and I think the Propolis took it away. I'll try some in my store. So
what does that retail for now in a lot of places?
This is $13.99. There's over 230 sprays per bottle. We tried to make it really accessible because, like I said, more and more people are looking for natural alternatives, and we should have something natural and sustainable to take and help prevent getting ill or to help treat.
What was your second product?
My second product. So after this, we started doing the bee pollen and some honey. So this is...
Now that's bee pollen?
Bee pollen, yeah.
Is that what you get out of a hive?
It is. So all of this stuff comes out of the hive. The bees make much more than honey. So they make honey, they make propolis, pollen, royal jelly, they make beeswax. And all of these different substances that they make have different health effects. So pollen, it's the protein source of the bees. And for humans, it's also a great source of protein. It's full of broad-spectrum vitamins, and it's amazing for energy boosting.
Now, how do you take that? What do you do with it?
I like to put this in my smoothie. Sometimes if I'm
having... Just pour it in?
Yep, just pour it in. I'll put it on top of toast. I'll sprinkle it on top of fruit. It's just a really great topping. It's like a little nutrient boost. I like to think of it as a little multivitamin shot.
So that's bee pollen. Do you have honey? Do you even do honey?
We do have honey. So I brought some special honeys today. We do regular honey as well, but here I have a cacao honey. So it's a chocolate honey. It's really delicious. It's kind of like guilt-free chocolate fudge. So it's raw honey with organic Ecuadorian cacao. And it's really just delicious. And then cacao has tons of nutrients. It's full of copper, minerals.
There's a sales pitch you have never heard, nor have I. Whatever you just said, I want one. How much does that retail for?
It's pretty delicious.
It looks beautiful.
This one is $24.99, and we have a lot of parents who use this as an alternative to Nutella. It's a lot healthier, it's nut-free, and I mean, you can't really go wrong with raw honey and raw cacao. It's a pretty healthy combo.
Are you going around to trade shows in Chicago and Las Vegas, like even more than you want to be?
I actually love doing the trade shows because it's an amazing, we get to interact with either our consumers or our buyers, and we learn so much from those. And that's what we did a lot of in the early days. We did a ton of trade shows. We still do them. But now we have a lot of growth online. So we work really hard educating both about the products and about the cause behind it, which is the bees. We're committed to sustainable beekeeping. And at every level of production, we work really hard to save, support, and nurture an awareness for what's happening with our bees. Because bees pollinate 1/3 of our food supply. So if we lose the bees, we're going to have a massive environmental issue. So we work really hard to educate about that. And online is a great way to generate that awareness.
How was it, did you ever find out that these properties like Propolis that were common apparently in Europe had not even been heard of here? Why was that the case?
It's so interesting. So the first recorded human use of propolis dates back to 300 BC. Like, we have been using this to heal for a very long time. In the 17th century, propolis was listed in the London Pharmacopoeia as an official drug. So it's so interesting. We have this deep medicinal history with these different products, but there just really wasn't an awareness. And I think for a few reasons. One, honeybees aren't native to North America. They were brought over here. So when they were brought over here, they were primarily used for honey and now for pollination services. And the other thing is that the pharmaceutical world has a pretty strong pull, and people now this is totally changing, but traditionally people weren't as focused on natural and alternative solutions.
You are going to do so well with this business. Don't sell it to somebody too soon, right? Unless you want to. I mean, you know,
No,
you're
I
from
love
Goldman
this.
Sachs. You're not going to sell too soon, right? But I bet a lot of places are calling you. You're getting on some interesting radar screens.
Yeah, it's a very unique company, and the way we build products is unique as well. So our tagline is naturally sourced, obsessively tested. And we're all about using the scientific rigor typical of the pharmaceutical world, but applying those standards to completely natural ingredients. So at the end of the day, we're really committed to making something that works and working with this really niche product category. So we've had some great interest in the products. And I mean, again, the products work, and that is a testament to the power of the honeybees. I'm just lucky to have stumbled upon these amazing solutions.
It's Carly Stein, Beekeeper's Natural Products. I think we're going to hear more about your product. What a great story. Good luck, Carly.
Thank you.